Hey guys, what's going on? I just wanted to make another video on the latest custom pistol that I have put together because it is pretty neat, whole lot of fun to shoot, and everyone seems to have been enjoying it who has shot it so far. I just took it to a company range day over the weekend, and this thing now has a couple thousand rounds through it, and I can say it's probably one of my most favorite firearms to shoot, despite it being a 22. I'm not talking about the USP in this video. I'm actually talking about this Ruger Mark IV. And what it is I started with a regular target receiver, super cheap. These are like 30, 35 bucks. Took it to a buddy's shop and I was able to get the barrel chopped down and threaded. Definitely gonna get demonetized for doing that. I don't really care. This barrel is now about a 2-inch barrel in there. And on the end of it is an Otter Creek Labs titanium 22 can. I like the vibe. I was really stuck between this and the Oculus, but this is what I was able to find in stock at Hanson Brothers. So I went with the Otter Creek, really happy with it. The titanium construction is super durable, and I was able to throw it in the sonic cleaner instead of having to worry about aluminum baffles with some of the cheaper cans. So it's super quiet. So really big fan of this. So we got the barrel on this chopped down to 2 inches, and then we also went ahead and polished the bolt, and I'll throw in some B-roll of that. And then on top of that, we have the Optic setup. So you'll see there's no iron sights on this gun. It's strictly a red dot gun. Right now, it is a Type 2 RMR. This is gonna go back on my Glock. I have a cheaper Type 1 on order to throw on here. And that's sitting on the Lobos mount, which if you do any kind of research into the Mark IV space, you'll quickly find out that that's pretty much the best one out there. The hardware that it came with was super nice, so I was really pleased with that. And the way that it's machined is just really slick to the receiver. There's some other stuff out there, they're just not as good, and these are not super expensive either. So if you are doing one of these and you want to put an optic on it directly mounted, I would try to hold out for them. They do come back in stock like every month or two, so you want to be on the wait list. But if you get lucky, you can get one of these, and that's definitely the way to go. The bolt, I forgot to mention as well, it's polished, but that is also from the Volquartsen eBay store. So they have a surplus store where they sell a bunch of other parts. So this one is a factory bolt, but it has the Volquartsen firing pin and extractor in it, which, if you don't want to deal with the headaches of rimfire stuff where, they can jam, they're just not as reliable as center fire guns, having that upgraded extractor and firing pin is a nice add-on. I don't have perfect reliability with this, obviously with the super chopped down barrel, but when it's clean and lubed up, it runs great for quite some time until it gets jammed up. I think having the slick DLC bolt that they make with the pinball racker is probably the best way to go for ergonomics. I just hate the way that it looks. Same with all the Halo charging handles, I just can't get into them. So this one, the factory one, kind of sucks, but it ruins the aesthetic if you do the other ones. I don't shoot this that much where it makes that big of a difference. So Volquartsen upper, custom barrel length, suppressor, RMR, and the Lobos mount, the lower. Volquartsen just started selling these directly as well. So if you've ever bought any of these, you also know that the upper, while being the serialized portion, is actually very cheap compared to these lowers. I did a decent amount of shopping around because I wanted to build this from scratch. I wasn't going to buy one and then take a bunch of stuff off. Volquartsen, sells the complete classic lowers as well as theirs in the 2245 variants if you want the 1911 grip angle with the plastic. I went with the classic frame because despite it being the Luger grip angle, which I really don't mind, I wanted the metal frame as well for this. And it comes pre-installed with their accurizing kit, which is another very popular go-to upgrade for a lot of people. So it comes with a nice trigger with an adjustable set screw. It's like 2.25 pounds. Really nice trigger. For a range toy like this, it's kind of what you want, right? It's supposed to be entertaining, not a duty gun. So loving that. I knew I was going to get some form of grips. They sell these with some different options, so I just went ahead and picked these G10 green ones to include with it. I like them. I think they look great. Really solid. I have no complaints there. I may at some point get some wooden ones, or maybe some of the black ones with the red medallion to be more reminiscent of the classic, Assassins from 1995. If you've ever seen that movie, this is kind of a clone off of that gun.
A silenced Ruger 22. Classic. You know, I switched when I heard that's what you used. Oh, excuse this. It was a long shot, but a good one.
I know Iraq veteran 88 did a video a million years ago where he built one just like this. Slightly bit more modern version of that. And then the last thing with this gun is the magazine. So I mentioned dealing with kind of the rimfire reliability. One of the first things that I did before I even had a ton of rounds through it was I went out and I did the magazine modifications to this. So I will link to it in the description, the tutorial that I used. But basically, and I'll get some close-ups as well, you're rounding off a little bit of the edges here. You're sanding some of the factory like injection molding off of the follower off, and just doing some basic polishing work. So it's supposed to enhance reliability. The only other thing I might do if I did it was get kind of the nicer buttons. They're super cheap, just because when you're loading a ton of rounds through these, and if you only have 4 or 5 mags, it gets old pretty quick. So if you buy one of these, buy a ton of mags. 10-round capacity dates this pretty hard, but I think the platform is probably the most reliable out there for semi-auto rimfire pistols. So it's hit or miss. If you want a more modern version, you might get some more capacity, but I don't know that the reliability will be there like it is with the Mark IV platform. So that's really what it is in a nutshell. I'll throw some clips in here shooting this thing suppressed. As far as ammo, CCI Mini Mag is the way to go for these, at least that I've discovered so far. Just for fun, I tried a bunch of various subs. I have a bunch of Aguila and some other CCI Quiet and some other stuff like that. If you get lucky, you might get a couple to cycle in a row, but they typically don't. And then just kind of like Remington Bulk 22 just doesn't like to run in it. It seems to like the Mini Mag, so that's just what I've been buying for the last couple bricks through it. But the thing is a blast, and it's nice to be able to go out and shoot and not have to spend $1 million. And when I did the company range day, I mentioned everyone else liked it. We had some younger kids learning to shoot on this thing. A lot of other new shooters, even adults, were really appreciative of the fact that, there's the dot on there, which I think is pretty intuitive for new shooters. And there's no iron sights to interfere or confuse them as far as the co-witnessing being in the way. And then the fact that it's a 22 with a suppressor, it has the decent weight, and it's all on the back because this is all steel with the titanium front. 925 grams, by the way, for this entire package unloaded. Feels really good in the hand. It's not intimidating to new shooters. You're a new shooter. What do you think of the 22? I love this
gun. It shoots very, very well.
Why do you like it instead of some of the other stuff?
It's very quiet, barely any recoil, and it's very easy to load and kick back, or whatever. I don't know the right term.
Even for me, Plank and Steel is super fun with this thing. So overall, I'm really happy with it. I don't want to add up what I spent on it because it's way too much money for a 22, but if I decide to do that, I'll throw kind of a breakdown in the description. But yeah, we went a little bit budget as far as the standard receiver, and we could have just got like a mini Mamba or something and spent even more money, but I think this is a great compromise, and it was fun to do the project. So like I said, I'll cut in some different video and things here and there of actually shooting it, but overall, it's a win. I'm very happy with this thing. I anticipate it lasting quite some time and being pretty fun into the future. And then a little bonus piece, I got this wrench printed from a buddy of mine for the OCL, the Titanium 22. So you can do the end cap as well as the base there. carbon fiber nylon. Pretty nice to have a custom tool for that. So if you're wondering what that was sitting on the table, that's what it is. Anyway, pretty informal. Just wanted to show this thing off because I think it kicks ass. So until the next one, guys. See ya.